come in and they'll say, "Oh, Brother Hovind, you ought to see my girlfriend. Wow, she's so pretty." I'll say, "Well, that's good. That's good. Let me ask you a question. Does she love the Lord?" "Oh, I don't know about that, but wow, is she pretty." Oh. I'll say, "Well, excuse me, but she might not always be pretty." He'll say, "Oh, yeah, she's always going to be pretty." "Oh, you think so? Well, why don't you go to the nursing home and pick out which one you want her to look like?" Fellas, you really ought to find one that loves the Lord. That'll mean a lot more 50 years from now. And these dumb teenage girls, they come in and say, "Oh, you ought to see my boyfriend. He is so handsome. Wow." I'll say, "Well, does he know how to work? Can he get up in the morning? Does he show up at work on time every day?" "Oh, no, he don't do that, but boy, is he handsome." "Well, listen, honey, I don't want to burst your little bubble, but he's going to be pot-bellied and bald-headed one of these days. You better find one that knows how to work and loves the Lord and knows how to put the bread on the table. That's going to mean a lot more one of these days." The Bible says beauty can cause pride. Proverbs chapter 6, "These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud," look, first one on the list. You know God hates pride. Pride and arrogancy and the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. Proverbs chapter 7. "Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Only by pride cometh contention." The word contention means fights, arguments. Every fight is caused by pride. You're running out to the car, and your brother or sister says, "I want the front seat." Ooh, pride. "Mom, I want to sit by the window." Ooh, pride. "Hey, Mom, I want the controller. He keeps changing the channels. It's my turn to watch TV for a while." Ooh, pride. Sounds like I've been in your house, huh? Nope, just got 3 kids of my own. Hey, kids, next time you're running out to the car, and your brother or sister says, "I want the front seat," here's what you should do. This will work every time. Listen now. You should say, "Okay," and get in the back. Don't say another word. And your mom will faint. And you will get to drive the car. That's the front seat you really want. You know, got that wheel and then pedals down there. That's the one you want. Every single fight's caused by pride. Hey, you husbands and wives not getting along too good? I know what your problem is, and I don't even know where you live. It's pride. Hey, you're not getting along with the boss too good, huh? I know why. It's pride. The Bible says every fight's caused by pride. Better read it. "Let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me." How well do you know the Lord? I mean, is your heart right with God? Are you close to the Lord? Look, if you went fishing and you caught a 24-foot Tyrannosaurus Rex, and he came charging after your boat, or like Jurassic Park, the wall of the building explodes, and he comes charging down and is just about to grab you off the pew right now. Kids, listen carefully, because I have studied dinosaurs a lot, and I know what T-Rex is afraid of. If you want to scare him off, here's what you should do. When he comes charging after you, you should say, "Hold it! Stop right there, Mr. T. You can't eat me. I have hair." 2 of them now. Boy, that'll scare him, won't it? Yipe, yipe, yipe. Watch him run. Maybe, well, if that doesn't work, then try this. "Mr. T, you can't eat me. I have muscles." Think that'll scare him? Probably not. See, I think God is doing this to Job for the same reason, trying to get Job ready for Judgment Day, because we're going to stand before God, folks. And you're not going to get in front of God and say, "God, you better let me into heaven because I got muscles." Well, you might be real proud of your muscles, but God doesn't care. Try this one. "Mr. T, you can't eat me. I'm smart. I got a high IQ. I'm valedictorian. Some cum laude," or whatever it is. "Man, I'm up there at the top." Oh, you just might be real proud of yourself, but it all tastes the same to him. He don't care, right? Try this one. "Mr. T, you can't eat me. I'm a cheerleader. Go, team, go. Woo. Watch him run. Boy, yipe, 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 yipe. Think that'll scare him? Probably not. Well, then try this. Mr. T, you can't eat me. I have a fancy car. I have a Cadillac. A Rincon Continental. Watch him run, boy. Yipe, yipe, yipe. You can't eat me, Mr. T, because I'm the captain of the basketball team. I can take a ball and bounce it. And then I can throw the ball through a hoop. Whoa. You can throw a ball through a hoop like a seal. Whoa. You know, we get proud of dumb stuff, don't we? God's not going to care. T-Rex ain't going to care. Look, I think God is doing this as a setup. Job, you're afraid of him? Are you afraid of me? I think we've lost our fear of God, folks, in this country. The Bible says, fear God and give him glory, for the hour of his judgment is come. We're going to face the judgment of God very soon. I think we need to humble ourselves and fear the Lord. The Bible says, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace to the humble. Wise old preacher was talking to a younger preacher one day. The younger preacher said, brother, I noticed something about your family. All of your kids grew up and went off to serve the Lord. Why? Why do your kids all love the Lord? What's the secret to raising good kids? The wise old preacher said, well, son, I think I know the secret. The young fellow said, man, I'm going to write this down. He got his pen out and he said, no, you won't need a pen for this. You'll remember this. The young fellow said, well, is it because you sent them to Christian school? Is that it, Christian school? He said, no, that's good, and you ought to do that if you can, but that's not why my kids turned out good. He said, well, is it family devotions, you know? Is it make them go to church? Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, if the doors are open, drag them to church. Is that why? He said, no, that's not why. He said, well, why did your kids turn out right? And the wise old preacher said, well, son, the only reason my kids turned out right is the grace of God. He said, the grace of God, how do you get that? He said, well, God has to give it to you. He said, well, how do I get it? He said, well, let's see. God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace to the humble. Hey, you want God's grace? You got to humble yourself. Hey, dads, when's the last time you humbled yourself? I mean, when's the last time your kids saw you at the altar praying? Dads, when's the last time your kids heard you say, I'm sorry, I was wrong? When's the last time? Hey, moms,